Hi. It's very thundery and rainy here. So we're going to try our best to hi. We're going to try our best to get through today's session. And we will hope for the best. So I will say that we got back from Georgia last night. I'm exhausted. So I don't know if we will do personal individual card readings today, but I didn't want to not do a collective reading today. So we had an amazing time up in Atlanta for my son's college graduation, and it was just really wonderful. And it was great to have the family together, and we had some of their friends had flown up from Florida, and we got to say goodbye to people and pack all the stuff. And then to drive two very, very full cars back home. And then he proceeded to sleep until 2 o'clock today. So it's been a very long week since Thursday. We left here Thursday, and we got back late last night, and we had just a wonderful time for my son's college graduation. So I do want to talk about some things that are going on. Hello, happy Monday. What do I want to say? And then again, it's thundering and lightning here, so I don't think you can hear it, but it's very rainy and thundery. I do want to talk about some things that are going on. So first of all, while we were away, hello, Bo. While we were away, Mercury retrograde. Mercury went direct, so we're no longer in retrograde. So that is that's great news. Blah blah, you are a spammer and you are banned from the page. So bye. If you're a spammer, just please leave, because I'm going to ban you immediately. We have zero tolerance for spammers. So please just go along. And if you are here because you want to be here, we are so honored to have you here. But if you are a spammer on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, even just YouTube, just know that we are going to ban you immediately. So just go on. For those of you who are asking for cards, thank you for joining us. So the way it works here on Mondays is we do some channeled information about what's going on in the world, and then in the world, in the bigger world, and then we'll do some collective card reading, and then we will do, depending on how I feel. Usually I'm always so happy to do individual card readings, but I never want to give you my not best. And so today I am just, like I said, I am just completely exhausted. There's 19 loads of laundry at least that need to be done for the kid coming home from college forever. So I'm happy to have my house, my kid back home. So proud of him for his graduation, but we're definitely a little tired around here. So if you are asking for an individual card, just hang on, because what we'll do is we'll do the channeled information, we'll do a collective card reading, and then we'll do individual card readings as long as my energy can hold out, because I never want to give you a half-assed version of me. So I will be very honest with you and tell you, I feel like I can, I feel like I won't, I feel like I can't. So if I can't give you a good reading, we'll just wait it until next week. Okay, and for a couple of you who've asked me for specific mediumship questions, let me just say this session is generally not about mediumship, though when we do cards, sometimes we do get that information that comes through. If you are looking for a specific mediumship session, please don't hesitate to reach out to me individually. We can certainly set something up for you. Having said all of that, one more time I will say this, probably 100 more times I will say it, but if you are a spammer, just go ahead and leave, because the minute you start posting your spammy messages, we will ban you. So having said all of that, I am very happy to be back with you. It's been a very eventful 5 or 6 days. Had definitely had my own anxieties about just wanting to make sure everything was good. We did not get a live college graduation for my older son because it was COVID, so we had college graduation in the living room. So this was really wonderful. And for those of you who may travel with older parents, if you are the one who's in charge or things like that, you know it can be a little bit extra stressful to make sure that the older parents have what they need and all the people get to all the places and all of that stuff. So, but that said, it was a really wonderful weekend and everything went about as well as it could have possibly gone. It rained a little bit on the morning of graduation, so we all were there in our raincoats and our umbrellas, but the school was great. They were handing out ponchos and little cloths to wipe off the plastic seats, and by the time the ceremony was ready to start, all the rain had stopped, so everybody was able to put their umbrellas away, and the sun came out at the end. It was really great. And for the graduation being out in the middle of the field of the quad with no trees, the cloudy skies were a welcome for all of us. So, all right, so let me say some other things. Jupiter, so while we were away, we had Mercury has gone direct. So Mercury retrograde is now over, which is really fantastic. And so Mercury goes direct. Now we know that we have 3 or 4 Mercury retrogrades a year. So this is not going to be, we're not going to be out of Mercury retrograde for that long. But at the same time, we also have the shadow parts. So where Mercury may not be in a retrograde specifically right now, we also know that we have about 10 days to 14 days before a retrograde and after a retrograde that is, hi Barbara, that is still part of that retrograde energy. So if you're still feeling a little bit like, what is going on with my technology, or why are these weird, weird awkward conversations, things like that that may be happening, that can all still be attributed to Mercury retrograde for about another week. Okay, so we're in that shadowy time. I also want to talk about Jupiter. So we, before I do that, let me jump in to new moon. So we talked before I left about the new moon was coming, and so we had the new moon this past weekend, where we are now in the new moon in Taurus. And what is important about this is Taurus is this time of people who maybe are, their sun sign is Taurus, they're maybe more direct, they're more forceful, they know where they're going, and they're going with purpose and intensity and that kind of a thing. And we have this thing with Taurus where Taurus kind of is about expansion, and Taurus is about growth and about financial growth. Taurus is kind of like getting the 9 of Pentacles if you're doing a tarot reading. So this Taurus energy is really about pushing you forward, but at the same time you want to make sure that you're using discernment about, does this feel right to me, or am I being carried along on someone else's wave? So Taurus is about pushing us forward. Taurus is about pushing us into this place of expansion. So if you're feeling like, there's stuff I have this stuff, I want to do it, and now you're starting to feel uncomfortable about it because maybe you're procrastinating, or you haven't been doing it, or you're not moving in that direction fast enough, or pretending like you're not, noticing it, the moon in this moon cycle in Taurus can feel very uncomfortable for you, because the universe is really trying to push you forward and to try to push you to expand and to grow yourself and to kind of push you up to another level. If you've seen my slinky ever before, we talk about the slinky because we have, people say, well, it keeps coming around, same stuff keeps coming up. Well, of course it does, but the last time it came, it was down here, and so now the same time it comes around, you're having the same, lesson to be learned. You're learning it, 5 rungs up, but it's still the same stuff. So it's important to understand that Taurus is going to be about this time of like trying to push you up that ladder, push you up the ladder to success, push you into a better financial situation. It's going to try and push you into towards what really has been in your heart that maybe you've been ignoring or procrastinating or being reluctant to act on. Taurus is really going to push you forward in that way, if you're allowing it, okay? Because we all have the ability to bury our heads in the sand and just be like la 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 until it passes. So here's the other part. Jupiter is now in our is now back in our solar system, and Jupiter's orbit is so big and it moves so slowly that Jupiter literally has a 12-year cycle, which means that Jupiter takes a full year in every one of our astrological signs. So Jupiter here is also in Taurus, and so we are having this time where at the same time that the Taurus moon is pushing us forward and pushing us, to move, to get on with some stuff, here comes Jupiter, and Jupiter is kind of a troublemaker. Jupiter is the one that's going to be like, well, how bad do you want it? And, can you really see the truth in this situation? Jupiter really wants to make sure that you're looking at things from a clear point of view. And so this can feel disjointed when you have Taurus who's trying to say, come on, let's go. And Jupiter's like, well, let's slow down and let's take a look at this and make sure this is really what you want to do. And so it's going to ask you for discernment, and it's going to ask you for that discretion. It's going to ask you for what, is this really what you want, or is this something that you are, wanting because other people have told you that this is what you should want. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard me talking about the first Mary Kay pink Cadillac that we earned. That it took me a long time to earn that pink Cadillac, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's your next goal. You got to earn the Cadillac. Come on, what are you working on? You're working on the Cadillac, right? Let's go." And I was like, "No, that wasn't my goal." When I started working on the things that were my next goals, that were right for me and my family and where I was going and what I wanted to achieve, those things then led to the first pink Cadillac, but it wasn't the Cadillac as a specific goal. But I was really reluctant to be carried along on the excitement of other people telling me this is what you should do. And so this is what Neptune is talking about. It's like, is this really what you want to do? I mean, it's one thing when you have, and we talked last week about having the things that you really want to do versus the things that maybe you feel like you should do, or you're doing it for the right reasons, or having thing where you say, oh, this is really what I want to do, and then that left brain voice is like, yeah, but you can't. I mean, who do you think you are? And you want to tell that bitch to shut up. No offense, sorry. But sometimes, I mean, that's really how it feels. And so here we are now with Taurus and Jupiter, and so you have this Taurus energy that is saying, come on, what do you want? And we talked a lot last week about your heart's desire and really what was inside your guts that you wanted to create or manifest or pursue, or where were you going and what were you trying to welcome in. And so that Taurus energy is still trying to bring that forward, and then Jupiter is going to make sure that you're feeling like, is that really the thing? It's not the ego left brain subconscious voice, that voice of fear that's saying, yeah, but Jupiter is over here saying, let's be sure. Let's make sure we're not chasing fool's gold. Let's make sure if you have this thing and you reach this goal, then what? Like, let's think it through a little bit deeper. So that's really where we are right now. It's not a bad thing. I mean, Taurus is really about expansion, and that's great, because expansion means we're raising our vibration. Expansion means we're moving the universe. We're moving ourselves. We're moving more energy. We're helping to raise that vibration of everybody. And also, Taurus often brings with it more financial stability, which is also, really awesome. So, we definitely want to ride the wave of Taurus, but at the same time, using that discernment that, Jupiter is like, let's just slow it down. And let's just make sure this is really what we want to do. Okay, it's not to discourage you. It's not to say don't do it. It's trying to say to you, let's make sure that you're really connecting your head, your heart, and your guts, your solar plexus, before you jump off that cliff. Okay, before you sign that contract, before anything. And I have this myself because I have signed a contract knowing it was Mercury retrograde, knowing the new moon was coming, and I'm like, okay, I still have some questions before we implement this thing. Let's make sure we are indeed all on the same page. So this is, this is coming in, in that way for me as well, to be able to be like, okay, I know this is the right move. I know that this is what we're supposed to do, but let's just go over it one more time. Let's just make sure one more time that we're all okay. So you know, you have the ability to do these things. It is your life, and you get to be the boss of it. And I think that's something that sometimes we forget. You get to be the boss of your life. You get to be the one in charge. You get to be the one that says, this is what I want. Okay? And sometimes when we have other people or other things that are going on around us, it's hard for us, especially women, it can be very hard for us to say, well, this is what I want or what I need, because we feel like we have to make sure everyone else's needs are being met first. And so Taurus is talking about you. Taurus is very specifically talking about us as individuals, and what we do for ourselves, and not what we are doing for others. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So I think that's, oh, my friend Susan. Thank you, darling. Okay, so let's do some cards. We'll do the collective card readings, and then we'll see where we are. So, we'll also say that it's my own fault I didn't get coffee this morning, but it's while we were away. I didn't have a decent cup of coffee the whole time we were away. It happens. It happens. Sometimes when you're traveling. All right. So we're going to do the collective card reading for the group, and then we'll see where we are. So I see you, Miss Lynn. We're going to just see. I got to just see how I'm at. Okay. Again, I just don't ever want to do. I don't want to do a bad job for you. I don't want to give you crappy information because I'm not tied in, or I'm not tuned in because I'm tired or something, you know. And so I'm always very conscious of the fact that we meet on Mondays, and that sometimes there may be some travel involved, and I want to make sure that I'm doing right by you, and also I'm doing right by them. So, all right, so our first card is, so isn't this interesting? So the first card is Between Two Worlds, but it also comes in upside down. So the Between Two Worlds reminds us that we're stepping out of where we were and stepping into where we can go, into where we want to go. And so you can see, I'll turn it right side up now, but you can see from the flamingo that it's very sunny and light and blue, and the colors are very vibrant where they're going, versus where they've come from has been maybe more stagnant, more stormy, more dim, and more, you know, just more blah. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, this is dark and stormy and negative. It could just be like, this wasn't a time of growth and expansion. This wasn't a time of bright movement, of forward movement, of growing. And we grow in the light, right? If you want to plant, when I plant in my garden, I have to water the garden. Hello, he's standing in the water. But you also have to bring light. So, you know, I know that when the days are sunny, right now it's pouring rain, but when the sun comes back out, the flowers and the leaves are going to be like, ta-da! So it's important that we are stepping in the light. It's in the light that we grow, right? We talk about how we grow in the valleys, we grow in the dark times. But the truth is that, oops, sorry to Instagram, we go through the dark times, we go through the valleys, and then we turn around and we look back and we say, oh, I understand that now, or oh, that's what that was. And then that's where we grow, is through the valleys. But we have to come to the light in order to be able to put all of what we've learned into practice, or into utilization. If we stay in the dark, we're not gaining anything. We can learn all we want, but we're not using it. So we have to step into the light in order to use what we may have learned in the valleys, into the dark times. And so very much this is, this card did come in upside down, and so this is a reminder that we are going forward, but it's that caution that says, don't forget to keep going forward. Don't hold on to the stuff that was happening before. Don't look back. Don't stay in the back part. It's important for us to continue to go forward. And so it's very interesting to pull this card first, as we were talking about the split between Jupiter and Taurus, and how they are, you know, one is pushing us forward and one is saying, well, hang on a second. So it's a very interesting dichotomy of the cards there. So hello. All right. So some of you, when you come up, you have these fun little icons next to your names. I have no idea what they mean, but it's super cute. Oh, neat. Okay, so this card jumped right out, and this is poised. So this card is poised. It just jumped right out. And so this card also, look, she's standing up on the top of the pedestal. She is celebrating. She is ready to leap off of there. She is ready to go forward. She's like, all right, we are throwing it all up into the wind. I have got this. I am moving forward. It is time. We are just jumping off. And there's not a worry in there. It is all about, I have looked, I have consulted Jupiter. I have done all that work. I have checked, and I am ready to go, right? Because this was part of the original card, was like, okay, we're coming out of that thinking and that quandary time, and like, all right, we're looking at it, we're going forward, we're going into the light. And so here she is in poise, and she's literally like leaping up and down on the pedestal. She's leaping forward. She's like, we're ready, let's go, we're ready to go. And so this is that time where we talked about before of allowing that Taurus energy to pull you forward and say, okay, what is it? Where are we going? And we talked about that a lot last week, about what is it that your heart really wants. And Taurus is like, great, we're ready. This is the expansion time. This is the time of higher vibration. This is the time of that growth. And Jupiter is like, okay, let's be sure. Let's be sure. Let's make sure that what your heart and your, when we get, sometimes we get all carried on the wave. And Jupiter's saying, okay, let's just make sure that we're going in the right direction. Like, this is really what we want. We're going over here. And then once we know, we're like, okay, we're jumping. We are poised for the takeoff. We are poised for the leap. And this is where we are. So you've got to take some time for yourself to figure out where it is that you are. Are you ready to leap, or are you still need a few more minutes with Jupiter? Okay, this is not a place to park the car. Let me be very clear about this. This time with Jupiter, this is not a place to park the car. This is a quick self check-in. Okay, this says like, I really want to do this, and you just like, okay, let me feel into that. Jupiter feeling into it. Yep, that's what I want to do. That's where we're going. But if you feel into it and you're like, well, well, maybe that's not what I want to do. All right, well, okay, so if that's not what feels right to me, where is it? Because I tell you that if you're feeling into that Jupiter energy and you're using that discretion to decide, is what I want to pursue really the right thing? And then you get in this feeling with Jupiter and you're like, well, maybe it's not. It is not a U-turn, okay? It's not a sharp left turn. It is going to be an adjustment, a course correction. This is, you're going in the right direction, because Taurus has this in your heart. You've had this in your heart. This is wanting to grow and expand, and that you are pulling this, bringing this forward. Not an accident. It's not that you're on the wrong path. I don't want anybody to take this Jupiter thing and think that it's the wrong direction, because it's not. But it may be that you're in the wrong lane. Okay, it's just a course correction. Am I supposed to take this exit or the next exit? It's a course correction. It is not about like, oh, that doesn't feel right in my it doesn't feel right in my innards, and I gotta find something else. Taurus Tarot Glory Moon, you're a spammer and you're banned. See ya, bye. We ban. Oops, ban from page. See ya, bye. If you're a spammer, just go. We have zero tolerance for spammers here. If you're going to start, as soon as we see you in, we will ban you. So please just leave now. Save everybody the trouble. Okay. So when you have this feeling in the Jupiter energy, is this the right thing for me? And if you're feeling like, okay, ask yourself, is it fear? Am I just being... am I allowing my left brain to be, fearful and negative and make me feel like, unworthy? Because if this is really what I want on the right-hand side of my brain, and this is where I'm dreaming and I'm allowing spirit to guide me, and I'm feeling this in my heart, and this is what makes my heart just go, blah, and this is what I want to do, because this is really what lights me up inside. And that part that says, yeah, but maybe you're like, are you good enough? Could you do that? That's left brain bullshit. Okay, that's the part that is ego trying to sabotage. But when we sit in it and we sit in the joy and the excitement of the la and all the things that we want to do, and we're like, oh, I'm really excited about this. Let me just feel and make sure that this is the right direction. And we feel in that, we go, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Okay, I'm all lit up. We're going to go in that direction. Or maybe like, yeah, okay, there's something about Jupiter, I don't know, it's like I don't feel 100%. It's not fear, it's not left brain, it's not my voice. There's something that doesn't feel right. Like, okay, so where do I just need to be in this lane. Okay, so I need to do this before I do that. Or I need to like bring this person with me on board. It is not a U-turn. Jupiter energy is not about a U-turn. Jupiter energy is about that course correction, okay? So wherever it is that you're feeling like we're going here, this is what I really want to do, that's the truth. Follow that. But at the same time, let Jupiter be like the mentor energy that's saying, okay, You want to be, okay, so let's just do like maybe adjust. So Jupiter is about adjustment. It is not about abandonment. It is not about U-turns. Okay. All right. Thank you, my dear Chris Judd, for that, for helping Christine. So we're going to pull one more of these, and then see what happens as I get kind of hopped up on the spirit energy. And I'm like, all right, let's keep going. So, all right. This card is the Fates. This card is the Fates. This reminds us, and it comes in right set up. So she's hugging herself. She's full of light and love. She's got stars and sparkles all around her. She's being fully supported. She's got all of this good stuff around her. This is this reminder that says, yes, go forward. We have got you. We are with you. We have got you. Okay. And so this is what she's talking about. She's like, I am ready. So we need to have she's ready to leap off the edge. She's ready to jump. She is poised. She's ready to leap. And they're like, we got you. We're hugging you. We're carrying you. You leap. We're going. We're all in it together. Okay. So this is a really important set of cards that lines perfectly, of course, with the Taurus moon. And we're already past the new moon part. Let me see where we are. So we're in the waxing. So we're coming up into the first quarter. So it is not too late. You didn't miss it. This is the time to still get in gear. And so we're moving forward. We move forward in the first part of the moon cycle so that when we get up, the energy builds till we get up to that full moon. We can get to the top of that energy cycle. We to use that energy of the full moon to take a look around and say, okay, I got to assess what's going on. Is this where am I on the right track? What kind of course corrections do I need to take? Jupiter moves very slowly. Jupiter is going to be in this one sign for a year. Jupiter has a 12-year cycle, so it's a 1 year in each zodiac sign, which means Jupiter's going to be with you, not just through this whole moon cycle, but Jupiter's going to be with us all the way along. But Jupiter just has come into play now. Okay, so we have now a reminder that we are between two worlds. We're coming out of the place of growth and the place of learning, the place that was like less fun, the place that was about, let's dust things off. We've got to struggle through. We've got to learn all the things so that we are ready to move forward, and we're stepping into the light. So we take all the things that we've learned and we're moving into the light. We're going forward. This is not a bird looking backwards. We are literally going forward into the light. We've got water at our feet. We are being nourished. We are being supported. And then we are moving forward with the things that we've learned to move forward, because we learn in the darkness, but we grow in the light. We take the lessons that we've learned and we grow as we go forward. And so then we have that she is ready. We are ready to leap right off of here. We are poised. We have climbed up to the top of the pedestal. We know that we have all the stuff that we need is with us, and we are ready to jump off. And the Fates remind us that, of course, you're ready. We're going to be with you. We're supporting you all along the way. And then Jupiter comes back to remind us that we are going to be with Jupiter energy in Taurus for 12-month cycles. So we have lots of time as we are continuing to go forward, as we're continuing to climb up one level of the slinky and another level of the slinky. We're going to continue to climb. We go around, we go up like a spiral staircase as we go through our life, as we continue to go up, that we are learning more and we are growing more. And Jupiter is going to be with us with that discernment energy all the way along. So we are in a good way. Okay. All right. And let me just say this right now, okay? I'm going to say, if you'd like a card, go ahead and put it in the comments. But I want to preface this by saying, you all heard me from the start, I am tired. And I want to do this because I love to spend this time with you, and I love bringing the card information to you. However, yes. However, if you want a card, you have to say, I want a card, please. And there may possibly be a place where I have to say, I can't do anymore, okay? So I go in the order. I try and go in order, try and be very fair. So please understand if I have to cut it off. It is not personal. It is not that I don't love you. It is that I am out of gas, okay? So let me say all of that, and we will see how far we can go. And if you're a spammer and you start commenting on people, we will ban you immediately. Not even negotiable. All right, so let me say that. All right, so these are going to be short. Sorry. They're going to be short so that we can try and get to more people. If you have a question, a specific question that you would like to know, the answer to. You don't have to tell me what the question is, but when I come to you, have that question in your mind, okay? All right, so first we're going to have Michelle Krantz and then Ellen Jane, okay? So we're going to start there. Michelle Krantz. Okay, so the fates come up. I'm going to shuffle one more time, Michelle, just because it was the top card. So let me shuffle that one more time. But keep that card anyway, because you just don't know. Okay? We just never know. All right, so Michelle. All right, this card comes up, community. So this is this reminder. You see the giraffe is poking his head out of his little house? This is a reminder to lean into the people around you, to build your circle of people you can trust, and then to trust them. So Michelle, this is a reminder that there are people around you, that you don't have to carry all the weight of it yourself. You can lean into the people that are around you, that it's safe for you to do that. Because look, he's looking around and he's got, you know, his own little house, but look at all the little, you know, birds and things in the blue skies. So this is just a reminder you don't have to carry the burdens all by yourself. Okay? All right, Ellen Jane. Round and round. Ellen Jane, you're learning new lessons. You're learning old lessons. You're just learning them in a new way. So don't get frustrated when you have this, like, I've been here before. What is this? What's going on? Don't be frustrated with that, because you're going in the right direction. You're learning things again, but you're learning them at a higher level. Exactly what I was just talking about with the slinky, right? You're learning these same things. There's some new aspect of it that you hadn't gotten yet, that you're ready. You've grown enough to see this from a different perspective, right? If you are, you know, on this, you know, on the ground floor, you're going to look around and you're going to see stuff. But if you go up to the roof, you have a different perspective. And so they're talking to you that you have, it's time for you to have a different perspective. You're seeing things you've seen before, but you're seeing them from a different perspective. So don't brush it off like, I've seen this already. It's not like seeing the same movie. You're seeing it from a different perspective. Okay, so allow that to unfold inside of you so that you are seeing things from a different way. Okay, so there's something more for you to get in this new place. All right, Miss Lynn, and then Jem. Okay, Miss Lynn, there's a jumper for you. So this is building blocks. Okay, so I love this card because it looks like books. Okay, so you have her, she's standing up here, and she's standing up on the tower. It looks like blocks, it looks like books. It looks like she's standing on the wisdom. She's standing on the wisdom of the ones who came before her. She's standing on the wisdom to take the advice and the guidance from those around to be able to help her to climb higher. So this is, again, this is a team effort, is what we were talking about before with Michelle. This is about allowing yourself to lean on the ones that came before you to help build something strong. You don't have to build it by yourself. You can build it with others and allow yourself to lean into that wisdom and that support system that is already there for you. So you are on the right track. You're going in a good direction, but you don't, again, you also don't have to carry the load yourself. And this is a reminder too that you're not carrying the load yourself, because you are standing on the shoulders of those who came before you. And that is really important, because when we forget that, then we get all in ego. Okay, and I'm not saying that you are, but when we forget that we are walking the path that was made for us by others, or we're standing on the shoulders of the others who came before us, then we are, when we think that we're doing it all ourselves, and I'm making my own trail and I've got this, then ego gets in there and we are not seeing through clear eyes. So this is a reminder that we do stand on the shoulders of others. We do take advantage, as we should and as we're meant to, of those people who came before us, that are designed to, who paved the way for us, just as we are now paving the way for others. Okay, we're not just walking that road and being like, oh well, I'm just going to blaze my trail and then nothing for the people behind us. No, we're continuing to blaze that trail. We're continuing to build on the foundation so that those who come after us are going to benefit from that as well. So just remember, you're part of that process. You're part of building. You're part of changing the world. We're all part of that. But Miss Lynn is a reminder that you are connected. You're part of your past, and you're also part of your future as well. You are linked. So don't blow off where you came from to, take that piece of it with you. It's the same thing we had with that very first card of Between Two Worlds. We're coming out of the dark part. We don't leave all that behind us. We don't carry it like a burden, but we take what we've learned and we go forward with it. So it becomes part of who we are. So, all right, so Jeb, interesting, because the Fates card comes up again. You've heard me talk about this already, but the Fates card has come up again. So this is the third time we've seen this card today, so let's take that seriously. So, all right, so we're going to do Mimi, and then we're going to do Chris, and you're welcome. Okay, so we're going to do Mimi, and then we're going to do Chris. And Kim, I see you. Do me a favor. I see you've got 3 comments in there. I do see you, Kim. So we're going to do Mimi, and we're going to do Chris. We're going to do Mimi and Chris, and then Kim is after. So what happens when you put in multiple comments going, please, can I have a card? I promise I see you. But what happens is then the comments get pushed up, and then I can't sometimes scroll back to see who I need to get to, so that to remember where I left off. So okay, so we've got, did Gem? We did Gem. Gem was the Fates. Gem, is that right? We did the Fates card. So this is Mimi, and okay, so we did Gem. Okay, so this is Mimi. So Mimi, this is Blessed. Okay, so this is Blessed. Look, she's like floating on the air. She's sitting in her little snail spaceship. She's floating along. She is happy as can be, and she is looking where she's going. She knows where she's going. She's not confused. She's not worrying about, staying on course, whatever. She knows that the fates, she knows that the winds have got her, and that she is going the right direction. Look, she's just very zen. It's almost like she's meditating, and she's just totally enjoying the ride. So Mimi, we're totally enjoying the ride. This is the important part, right? So wherever you are, enjoy the ride. You don't want to miss the things by not being present in the moment. Be present in the moment. Enjoy the ride. Okay, so you are reminded that you are totally blessed, and that the winds have got you. That you are on their wings, and that you are safe. But don't check out to worry about what's next. Be present in that moment. Okay. All right. You are welcome. Okay. Chris, and then we've got Chris and Kim and Belinda, and then we have Noreen. Okay, so Chris. All right, so I'm going to pull a card from my friend Chris, who I know had a very challenging week. Okay, so this card comes in upside down, honey, and this is the higher power card. Okay, so I want you to be able to get this, okay? And this means even more that now that that your Mama Till is in the spirit side, because now you have someone else that's on your higher power, on your spirit team. But this card is upside down. The reason that it's upside down is that they're trying to remind you to give time to allow those things to blend. It's like when you make a cake and you add a new ingredient into the bowl, you've got to take a minute to mix that ingredient in. You're not going to just put flour, sugar, and eggs in a bowl and stick it in the oven and expect a cake is going to come out. No, you're going to get scrambled eggs on top of a bed of flour, right? So you need time for that integration. So part of this is time for you to integrate new information about how your situation has changed, but also this is part of that is allowing her time to be able to integrate into how her situation has changed. But she's telling you that she is part of your higher power team. And look how beautifully colored it is. It's absolutely so gorgeous, this card. It's just all pinks and blues and fluffy colors and just all the colors of love that are reminding you that you are safe and that you are being held by the higher powers, but that you have someone new on your team right now. And so when it comes in upside down, it's like, hey, don't forget that we're still here, but at the same time, let's make sure that we're leaning into this and that we are allowing for this integration. So it's one is allowing her that time, but it's also about allowing you that time to lean into them and let them carry you when you cannot, but allowing yourself that time to grieve and to integrate this new situation, okay? But you are so not alone. This card comes in with so much pink and blue and love and so much love energy that says, we got you. We're still here. Okay, it may be a different form, but we've got you. We're still here. And so never doubt that you have this team of folks that are there to love and support you and lift you and carry you, and that it is okay, for you to, take the time that you need. They're with you. So that card. As soon as I pulled that card, I almost cried, because I'm like, so Chris and I have been friends for a long time, and I know that she just lost somebody to spirit that was really important to her, and that has been really instrumental in her life for longer than I've known her. And as soon as I pulled that card, I knew exactly that it was her. So, all right. So Miss Kim, Belinda, Noreen, yes, Kim. All right, so this card, interesting. So Kim, this also comes in the building blocks card, which we just saw, but this card came in upside down. So this is the same information that we had shared before, but this is the reminder that you don't need to, that you want to stay connected to, the information and the things, the people that have come before you. So this is, you've got work to do. You've got stuff that you're building this foundation, and so you want to make sure that you're remembering that there's not a shortcut here. So Kim, that there's not that shortcut, that you've got to build that strong foundation, that you're, working in collaboration with the people who came before you, but you've got to build that foundation strong. So the card that comes in upside down is this reminder, like, hey, don't skip over this part. This building the foundation part is really, really important. No. Okay. So we have, where'd I go? Belinda and Noreen. And yeah, I know I got you crying. I'm sorry, sweetheart. All right. So we've got Belinda, and then we have Noreen. Yep. I see you, Belinda. I see you. So we're going to cut it off there. Belinda and Noreen. You are welcome, Kim. Thank you, Catherine. All right, Belinda and Noreen. All right. Belinda. So what happens is I'm looking at your names and your little flower circle pictures. That helps me connection to your energy when we pull a card for you. And so, where am I? Belinda. So this is Belinda. This is to the sea. So this comes in, it's just a reminder that you're following your heart, you're following the things that are making you happy, that are helping you to feel empowered. To the sea, you are moving forward. This is about a new adventure, a new horizon. But we were talking before about the water and the sun, right? And so here you have this water. It's a little bit misty, but it's not cloudy, and that you are moving forward, so that you are, look, you've got, even in this boat, like, she's moving forward, but the telescope, she's not even looking at it. It's like, I'm not worried about where I'm going. I'm just going forward. And so this is where we were talking about with that Taurus energy of allowing yourself to go forward. What is it you're trying to do in your heart and to create? Where are you going? So she's not even worried about where she's going. She's just going and enjoying the ride, because she's trusting that she's going in the right direction. Okay, so this is really important, that you are that you know that you're going in the right direction, Belinda, and that you're allowing yourself to go in the right direction, and you're not looking back. You're not even like worrying about it. You're just going forward. So this time of that Taurus expansion is going to be really important for you, because it feels like you have just been sort of waiting for this signal to step up into this new space. And so they're saying, like, okay, it's time for you to step up in the new space. Like, right now, let's go. So that's Belinda. So we have Noreen. And we'll see if we can do Catherine. Nope, Susan Longworthy, you're a spammer. Banned from page. Banned. Goodbye. Banned. If you're a spammer, we're going to ban you. So just go now. We will ban you. It's very simple. We have no time for spammers. Okay, where was I? Noreen. Noreen, chaos and conflict. Yeah, my sister is also Noreen, but spelled differently. Chaos and conflict. So this is, things are changing for you, my friend, but that's okay. That it's not dark clouds, it's still a lot of light, it's a blue sky, but you've got this zebra that's part zebra and part horse and part giraffe, and he's just not really sure what it is that he's trying to do. And so what they're talking about here, Noreen, is you got to sort out yourself. You got to figure out, who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to create? How do I want to show up in this world? Like, what what is the right thing for Noreen? So this time with the Taurus energy and Jupiter, and having you come in with discernment, all of that stuff. If you missed it, go back and watch the replay. But all of that, Noreen, is really important for you right now, because they're saying to you, like, well, who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And so this is saying that you really got to take some time to think about what is it that you are trying to sort out. Like, what is it that you really want to do here and accomplish? Everything is changing, but that's not it's not a bad thing. Okay, so this is definitely not a bad thing, but it's going to be really important that you keep the reins on that horse, and that you decide where is it that we're going and who do I want to be. So this is going to be a time of growth for you. Okay. Okay, Catherine, and then I've got to cut it off because I can feel the ringing in my ears. Like my ears start to fill up. It's really weird, but I know when I'm done. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Susan. I love this deck. This is Colette Baron Reed's Wisdom of the Oracle. This is I love this deck. I thought it's such a beautiful, the imagery is so gorgeous. And Susan, Susan's part of my Atlanta group. She doesn't live here anymore, but I was so delighted to see your name pop up. Always makes me smile. And I can't wait to see you in November, my friend. So, Catherine. So, Catherine, this is peace, but it comes in upside down. So, where are you resisting things to settle and to be peaceful for you? Because you have, look, the egg, you've got the green, grass and the sunny skies and the flags and the birds are going overhead and everything is right. Everything is all right with the world. But where are you, like, still looking for problems, Catherine? So, and it's not an accusation. I'm just saying it's so much in our habit that we're like, yeah, but. And so they're talking to you, be like, no, don't yeah, but. Just say thank you. So this is a really important time for you to just settle in, be present in that moment, and just say thank you for the blessings. Everything might not be perfect, and it's okay because we don't see what's going on, back here, but everything might not be perfect. But they're talking about that, the more we can lean into that peace, the more we can, the more other things will settle. When we are in that state of like, but, we create speed bumps that turn into mountains. When we can stand and be like, all right, it's just a speed bump, it's all okay, then mountains turn into speed bumps, okay? So this is just this reminder that you got this, you're okay. Just settle into joy, claim it, because so often we're so programmed that we don't claim our joy, right? We don't claim joy, and we don't claim like the things that are happening for us, right? The things that are happening for us. So whatever it is, Catherine, just lean into it. Just acceptance, love, gratitude. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for your love and support. I'm so happy to be back with you. It was just a wonderful experience. If you're interested, my personal Facebook page is, I'll be posting more pictures there. We had some really fun adventures while we were in Atlanta. My personal page is public, so if you want to see pictures of my kid graduating college, feel free. And I hope to see you all on Thursday for meditation, and I look forward to being back with you next Monday. Thank you again for your patience. I will be turning off the comments to protect you all from the spammers, so have a wonderful week. If you need a comment, feel free to grab any other post and send me a note or a direct message, and always remember how very much you are loved. Mwah.